Welcome to Exam Sale. In this video we will walk through the JNC IPsec syllabus so you know exactly what to study and why it matters. The script highlights each domain, its weight, recommended study time, difficulty and the key topics you must learn. The JNC IPsec exam covers 8 domains with clear weights. Junos Security Objects 15%, Security Policies 15%, Network Address Translation 15%, IPsec VPN 15%, SRX Series Devices 10%, Sky Advanced Threat Prevention 10%, Unified Threat Management 10%, and Monitoring and Reporting 10%. Expect a mix of conceptual, hands-on and scenario-based assessments, and recommended study times per domain are included. Use this overview to plan study sessions focused on the highest weighted and most difficult topics first. Junos Security Objects is 15% of the exam and focuses on configuration and management of security zones, screens and addresses in Junos OS. This is a medium difficulty domain with about 8 hours of study and conceptual plus scenario-based questions. You will learn the purpose and function of security zones, how to identify default zones on SRX devices, assign interfaces to zones and configure zone parameters for host inbound traffic. You will also learn Junos security screens to mitigate attacks and how to create and manage address book entries, address sets and service objects to simplify policies. Security Policies makes up 15% and covers design and implementation of zone-based and global security policies for traffic control. This medium difficulty domain needs about 10 hours of hands-on and conceptual study. You will learn policy components and evaluation, including match criteria and actions, and how permit, deny and reject behave in the security policy engine. The domain also covers application-aware controls such as App ID, App Track and application firewall rule sets, plus policy logging and time-based schedulers for precise access control. Network address translation is 15% and is a harder topic focused on source, destination and static NAT implementations. Plan about 12 hours of scenario-based practice to master this area. You will learn source NAT methods including interface translation, address pools and PAT, how to build rule sets and verify translation and session tables. You will also cover destination NAT and static NAT, proxy ARP, NAT precedents and troubleshooting NAT connectivity issues. IPsec VPN accounts for 15% and covers configuration and management of site-to-site IPsec tunnels. This is a hard domain with roughly 14 hours of scenario-based study and real configuration practice. You will learn IPsec fundamentals like A versus ESP, the role of IC, Phase 1 and Phase 2 negotiations, Diffie-Hellman groups and the difference between policy-based and route-based VPNs. The practical side includes configuring IC and IPsec parameters, implementing tunnel interfaces and routing, applying security policies to VPN traffic, verifying tunnel state and troubleshooting DPD and IC errors. SRX series devices are 10% and focus on hardware architecture, packet flow and initial device configuration. This easy domain needs about 5 hours of study and mixes conceptual and scenario questions. You will identify SRX components, understand the control plane and forwarding plane, and trace the packet life cycle including flow-based versus packet-based processing and the session management layer. You will also practice initial setup tasks such as factory resets, management interfaces, software images, enabling SSH and JWeb, and configuring user authentication and RBAC. Sky Advanced Threat Prevention is 10% and covers integration of Juniper ATP Cloud for malware protection and threat intelligence. This easy domain requires around 6 hours of conceptual and scenario-based learning. You will learn ATP Cloud architecture, how SRX interacts with the cloud for file analysis, the role of SecIntel feeds and encrypted traffic insights. The implementation topics include enrolling SRX in the ATP portal, configuring threat prevention policies, monitoring analysis and file submission status, and identifying remediation actions for infected hosts. Unified Threat Management is 10% and focuses on deploying content filtering, antivirus and web filtering services to protect users and resources. This medium domain takes about 8 hours of study with conceptual and scenario tasks. You will learn Juniper Enhanced Web Filtering, configuring URL categories, white and blacklists, content filtering by file type and the UTM policy engine. You will also study antivirus integration such as Sophos on Junos, Anti-spam for SMTP, signature updates, applying UTM profiles to policies and monitoring detection events. Monitoring and reporting is 10% and emphasizes logging, JWeb and system reporting tools for security visibility. This easy domain requires about 5 hours of study and includes conceptual and scenario-based assessments. You will learn syslog functions and severity levels, local and remote logging, RT flow security messages and how to use CLI log commands and event policy logging. The domain also covers JWeb reporting, dashboards, generating security reports, SNMP configuration and the benefits of Junos Security Director for centralized management. That wraps up the JNC IPsec syllabus breakdown. Focus your efforts on the 15% domains and practice scenarios for NAT and IPsec, while reviewing SRX basics and monitoring for quick wins. Good luck with your preparation and use hands-on labs to turn these topics into exam-ready skills.